We're always told the environmental crisis is all about carbon emissions, plastic in the ocean, things like that. But what if the real root of the problem is hidden somewhere much, much deeper? What if it's inside us? Okay, let's really dive into this. We all know the usual suspects for our environmental crisis, right? Industrial pollution, bad government policies, our own out-of-control consumerism. But what if all of those are just symptoms? What if the real disease is something else entirely? Something inside of us? So back in the 20th century, a theologian named Dumitru Stăniloae came up with a pretty radical diagnosis for what's ailing our planet. He argued that the degradation of the universe doesn't start in a factory or a boardroom. Nope. He said it has a spiritual root, and it's located directly within humanity. To really get what he was saying, we first need to understand his powerful idea about what our role in the universe was supposed to be. He had a pretty epic name for it, the priest of the cosmos. Stăniloae's whole point was that humanity has this absolutely unique position. Think about it. We're the only creatures made of both spirit and matter. We've got a foot in both worlds, so to speak, and that dual nature gives us a very special job, to be the priests of the cosmos, acting as a conscious bridge between the physical world and the spiritual one. And this is where the logic gets really cool. The physical universe, the mountains, the oceans, the stars, it's all incredible, but it can't express its own meaning. It's not self-aware. We were designed to be that voice. Our job was to receive the world as this incredible gift, and then, through our consciousness, give it a spiritual voice. This quote just nails a key part of it. Our own spiritual well-being isn't some private little affair that stays in our heads. It's meant to ripple outwards, to literally help transform the physical world around us. So, if that's our intended role, this huge cosmic responsibility, what on earth went wrong? How did we get from being priests of the cosmos to, let's be honest, the main cause of its degradation? Well, the problem starts when we basically quit our job, when we abandon that priestly duty. Instead of looking outward with love, we turn inward. We get consumed by selfishness, greed, and gluttony. And look, these aren't just some old-fashioned abstract words. They have real physical consequences. Greed is what drives clear-cutting a rainforest for a quick buck. Gluttony is what fuels overfishing and collapsing entire ecosystems. We take this amazing gift and just turn it into something to be consumed. Now, according to Stăniloae, this isn't just a private moral screw-up. He uses this really heavy theological term. He calls us the hypostasis of cosmic nature. What that basically means is that we are the personal, conscious face of the entire universe. So whatever happens in us, it doesn't just stay in us. Because we have this fundamental, just built-in connection to the natural world, our spiritual sickness inevitably becomes the world's sickness. The chaos inside of us spills out and becomes the chaos we see in our environment. It's a direct infection. Just stop and think about the weight of that for a second. It's saying that our moral and spiritual state has a direct physical consequence for the whole cosmos. Your inner life isn't walled off from the world. It is actively shaping it moment to moment. Okay, I know what you might be thinking. This is a pretty wild, out there idea from just one guy, right? But the thing is, this concept that the material world is good and that we're the source of the problem, it actually echoes across centuries of thought. Check this out. Maximus the Confessor, writing way back in the 7th century, made this crystal clear. He basically said, hey, money isn't the problem, greed is. Food isn't the problem, gluttony is. The created world itself is good. It's our own disordered minds and how we misuse things that's the real source of evil. And then you can fast forward centuries later to the 1400s, and Nicholas of Cusa is highlighting our freedom in this whole cosmic drama. We have a fundamental choice. We can act in a way that's in harmony with creation, or we can act selfishly with the sole intention of consuming. The choice is ours. So what's the big takeaway from all this? Where does this leave us? Well, if we accept this spiritual diagnosis, even if we just treat it as a thought experiment, it radically changes our entire understanding of the environmental crisis and our role in it. And Stăniloae, man, he does not pull any punches. He concludes that our responsibility here is total, not partial, total. So it's not just about recycling or carbon taxes or policy changes. And don't get me wrong, those things have their place, for sure. This is about something way more fundamental, the very state of our own humanity. So here's the bottom line. We cannot heal the outer world if we don't heal our inner world. From this point of view, a society that's driven by greed and just endless consumption will inevitably create a degraded, polluted environment. The two are completely inseparable. One flows from the other. And this leaves us with a really provocative and maybe a deeply uncomfortable final thought. If we take this idea seriously, then looking at the state of our planet today, the pollution, the extinctions, the climate chaos, it forces us to turn the mirror back on ourselves and ask a very, very difficult question about the state of our own hearts.